Everyone check in SAR when you can. Checking in SARs. Just, you know, sharing the shit. Doing the promotion shit. You know what it do, what it be. You know what it do, what it be. Alrighty. Sarring in, attritionalist. Attritionalist is sarring in. Thank you for sarring in. Everyone like and... Well, you already subscribed probably, but, you know, like and sar in. All the engagement shit, all the algorithms, you know. I'm already being CIA'd all the time. You know, I need those algo boosts. Sup, Chevy? How's it going? Sup, Core 6. We're gonna get started soon. I just need to hold on. Why am I? Kanging in, SAR. Holy cow with the kanging in. How's it going? June 4th, one of CIA's favorite holidays. Oh, yeah, I guess I should have talked about, or I should put that in the title, but in a sense, like, you know, I don't think anyone really cares about Tiananmen Square anymore. Like, I know the government tries to make it a big deal. But, you know, I think that it is, yeah, it's falling upon deaf ears for sure. And I recently saw, like, Nancy Pelosi post about it, and then somebody posted a picture of Nancy Pelosi talking with one of the rioters, basically, which is showing that it's like a CIA op. I think more and more people are, you know, well, most Americans don't even fucking care, right? Let's start there, right? Let's start with the fact that most Americans don't even know what even happened. They just hear Tiananmen Square and like, oh, I guess something bad happened in China. But the thing is, at the time, in 1989, like, you know, I was a 6-year-old, I guess. I never even heard about Tiananmen Square. You know, I lived in New York. I grew up in New York. Never really heard about Tiananmen Square until I was like, I don't even fucking know, man. Trying to remember the first time I heard about Tiananmen Square. It probably was like not that long ago. I honestly, like, you know how I didn't really care about geopolitics until fairly recently, right? But I can almost say for certain I did not know about Tiananmen Square maybe even up to like 10 years ago. And so if I, an Asian American, doesn't even know about Tiananmen Square, how many people do you actually think actually care? The only people that really knew about it are like Chinese Americans, which are, you know, the fucking boba liberals, obviously, right? Because they are like screaming about it like little bitches. But outside of that, like the average American, like I know these boomers know all about fucking Tiananmen Square because they were like booming all about it because they were booming all over the fucking place. But yeah, no one from our generation gives a fuck, you know? So it's funny when they always kind of like try to spread Tiananmen Square this, Tiananmen Square that. But I think in actuality, it's like one of those things where it's like the Uyghur genocide, you know, or the Hong Kong protests in 2019. It's like You know, they tried for so long to make it a thing, and then like people are like, I don't fucking give a shit. Like, you're literally fucking annihilating children in Gaza. What the fuck are you talking about? Uyghur genocide? You know, like it's just like the contradictions are so apparent. And at the time too, in 1989, you know, obviously, like we were already on the way to becoming buddy buddy with China. So it kind of just got lost in the fucking sauce, you know? You know, the main bad guy was still the Soviet Union in 89 too. So it's just kind of like the Americans at the time still didn't want to push their luck, right? Like, what are you going to like, you don't want to like push it too far on the propaganda, because then now you're pushing China back to like, all right, well, looks like we're going to have to call up Moscow and see, you know, if we want to make some deals here, you know? So I think it's just like, you know, it's just like a thing they do every year, obviously, you know, like, and it's mainly for the fucking Hong Kong pieces of shit or the Taiwanese pieces of shit that kind of try to boost it to make it a thing, but nobody fucking gives a shit about these fucking cockroaches anymore. So I don't think we should really even care about it. Anyway, title was thinking exactly what I was thinking too. I should have included how I think that America is literally trying to start a race war right now. I think that there's just too much shit going on all at the same time. You mean to tell me that the Rick Chow case and this case was all of a sudden fucking like back to back? These high profile like cases just back to back for out of blue? Like you don't think that that's fucking fishy as fuck? Like for the like the stabbing, for example, happened last year, right? So that was April of last year that the stabbing happened. But the Rick Chow case, the Rick Chow murder, or whatever it was, that happened 3 years ago. So you're just telling me that, you know, the powers that be coincidentally, you know, lined up these cases such that they would have this fucking effect right when shit is going down? With China? With Iran? Just like all of a sudden, just you know, just magically coincidences, right? Just magic coincidences that just fucking happen, right? And then not to mention all the fucking anti-China thing that's like trying to paint China as anti-black. This fucking bullshit, you know, taxi thing that Mario Navwal, that piece of shit, fucking spread that was bullshit. Literally of a black guy just fucking cursing out a Chinese guy, like demanding a discount in Chinese. And like, because nobody speaks Chinese in the West, they think they can get away with fucking just lying about that shit. And then the fucking Natasha dolls and the fucking blah, 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 blah. That was a fucking Japanese psyop, proven. And they don't fucking even give a shit, you know? What else do they do? Like the fucking Department of Justice now all of a sudden going after medical schools for affirmative action. This is all fucking a psyop right now. The month ago, the entire Trump administration was humiliated by China. Guess what they're gonna fucking do? This is fucking a psyop. You dumb fucks. Not my audience, but you know what I'm talking. Like fucking everyone in America. You know what I mean? Anyway, yo, Doug, sup? Honestly, sar. You looking forward to the Knicks winning championship? Well, actually, my secret wish was for the Knicks to lose in the finals, so that they could call up LeBron and be like, "Yo, we need, we need you, Bron." And then he comes to New York, wins a final, ends his career in New York. I'm already back in New York City during that time next year. And I'll be like, you know, I don't know. That's when I'd be like, go New York, go, you know? It's insane when the Knicks win. All right, let's fucking calm down. All right, David Tay. It's one game, and let's not forget they were down. Apparently, right? They made a comeback. So, you know, Spurs were a favorite also going into it. So it's not like the Knicks are this unbeatable team. If they take game 2, then I'll be a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see. Taking game 2 would be very significant, of course. Check the odds after game 1, and I think it was like 55% Knicks at that point. It started around 62% Spurs favorite, and then now it's a 55% Knicks favorite. I didn't watch the game. I don't have cable or whatever, but I was tracking the game on ESPN and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. It sucks though that I don't know. I won't say what I was gonna say. They didn't even care back in. That's the thing, right, Chevy? They didn't even fucking care. They didn't fucking care about the fucking Tiananmen Square. Nobody fucking gave a shit. You know why? You know what the actual crux of the situation is? No one ever cares about when Asian people die. That's the rub. That's the fucking rub. You know why their propaganda about China doesn't work, really? Because nobody fucking gives a shit when they kill people there. Even if they do. Even if they killed the Cultural Revolution. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares about the Great Leap Forward, about millions of people dying. It could be 100 million. It could be 500 million people dead from Mao, whatever. And they don't actually fucking care about Asian death, right? Nobody cares about Asian death, right? We all saw the Rick Chow shit. We all saw how the entire American community was willing to throw the Asian community on the bus. Whites, blacks, Hispanics, everyone was willing to just throw the, we are the fucking Jews of Nazi America. That's the fucking truth. Every race hates us and wants us to die. So why would they give a shit about Tiananmen Square? They wouldn't, right? Follow a little bit after the Hong Kong riots. That's the actual funny part. I became pro-China after I saw the Hong Kong riots. So they're actually misplaying their hand, in my opinion. New York is a potential loose cannon. We can't exactly calm down. Well, I guess that's the other reason I'm glad I'm not in New York right now, because I wouldn't have to put up with all that rioting shit. I am sure there is gonna be an incident of some sort of fucking violence, or some sort of payback for Rick Chow or something like that, right? And I do not want to be in the vicinity of anything fucking remotely like that. It might be not a good thing, actually. So same with Tibet. Only Jeets care about because part of the Himalayas. That's the thing too. Nobody cares about Tibet. Nobody fucking cares about Taiwan. Nobody fucking cares about Hong Kong. Nobody fucking cares about Tiananmen Square. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares. Not on an actual, empathetic level. Nobody fucking cares. And when you don't have that genuine, visceral feeling of, emotion behind it, the propaganda doesn't fucking work. Because the propaganda is meant for fucking, emotional manipulation, right? But if you don't have any fucking actual emotion behind it, no one fucking cares. You know why? Because they spent so much of their propaganda beforehand making everyone hate Asians, right? Because in the Korean and Vietnam War, they were literally killing millions of Asians, So they had to make all this propaganda in the media saying like Asians, they don't even care about their own lives, right? That's what they said. The Orientals, the reason why they're so brave and whatever isn't because they're brave. It's because they just don't care about their lives and just throw them at, they just fucking fight you because they don't value life. So all this fucking propaganda, it's like when the average American's like, well, they don't even value their own lives, so why should I care if they die? That's the fucking programming that's going on. And then now with Tiananmen Square, now with Taiwan, now with Tibet, they expect you to care. They expect the average American to care about Asian death. That's fucking hilarious to me. That is just the fucking most hilarious shit I've ever heard. You know what I mean? Almost forgot about Tibet. Nobody cares about Uyghurs. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares. And you know why nobody cares? Because that's the other thing, too. They spent all their time making anti-Muslim fucking propaganda in the 2000s, right? They made 24. They made fucking, what is it? Like, fucking Black Hawk Down or whatever. Well, I guess that was about Somalia. But, like, they make all these fucking, like, movies about, like, Hurt Locker, fucking, I don't know, the, Osama Bin Laden movie, Zero Dark 30, all these movies. And then, they're like, oh, we should care about these Muslim people in China. And it's like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, you've already programmed these people, these whiteoids, to be like, fuck Asian lives, fuck Muslim lives. And now, all of a sudden, you want them to care about those lives? Like, this propaganda, they're not propaganding right. They're just fucking retarded now. Media hides pretty much most African shenanigans, warlords and shit. Only Asian country they may care about is Japan. That's the other thing too, they allowed, fucking especially Twitter, right? They made auto-translate a thing. And then everyone on the internet realized how fucking batshit insane and retarded Japanese people are. And you know who the biggest people who are changing their minds about Japan are? They are the fucking Chinese. Because the Chinese now are like, oh, shit. I thought my government was exaggerating about these fucks. Now I see that they were actually lenient. These fucks are batshit fucking insane. Black Lives trying to claim Uyghurs as their. That's everyone is just fucking Zionism. Everything. I'll pull up this tweet I made. Let's see. All right. So fascism is just anarchist ethno-narcissism hanging. We was Greeks, we're the Nazis. We was the chosen people, we're the Zionists. We was Kangs, or Japs, Afro-Zionists. We was Japs, Taiwan. We was honorary Aryans, Japs. We was POC of Asia, Seajeets. We was Aryans, Indians. We was Brits, Hong Kuckers. It's just like we was an identity. Therefore, we deserve fucking to kill people or annihilate them or whatever. Whatever the case may be. Since we were X, we deserve to be on top, right? That's the fucking fascism creed. And that's kind of like what I'm talking about, right? Zionism is the root of identity politics. I've said this before, but I want to kind of fucking talk about this concretely, right? All throughout human history, there have been wars. There have been genocides. There have been, fucking wars all throughout human history, right? All throughout recorded human history. And probably pre-recorded history as well, right? Because that's what human beings fucking do. They kill each other and want to take each other's stuff. That's just been fucking human nature since the beginning of fucking time for every sort of race. Every race did this. Every ethnicity did this. Every nationality did this. Everyone fucking did this shit. That's how civilizations even came to be. Because what happened? Well, they started out as small tribes, right? And then eventually they came across another tribe. And they were like, well, I want that tribe's shit. And the other tribe was like, well, fuck you. And then they go to war, right? And then whoever tribe wins takes the other tribe's shit and makes the other tribe people their slaves, right? And over time, as these tribes get bigger and bigger, over time, they create these fucking civilizations that we all know. And during the Indus River Valley civilization, the fucking Chinese civilization, the Aztecs, obviously, and, Mesopotamia. You know the fucking drill, right? And then that developed, blah, 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 all throughout fucking human history. Still, there was fucking wars, Eventually, when these civilizations started expanding, they became, they started, fighting each other, right? That's what the fucking Greeks and the Persians did, that's the Odyssey, right? The fucking, Odyssey 3,000 years ago, whenever it was. They were still fucking fighting each other, right? They have stories about war from thousands of years ago, right? People just taking each other's shit, and the after the war, that's when the rules were set. Now you are slaves. Now you are whatever. Now you are whatever, right? That's the fucking thing. The only time this was not a thing was literally Zionism, right? Because what war did Jewish people win? They didn't win fucking World War II. They weren't the ones on top. They weren't the ones setting the rules. It was the Allies who won, right? The Soviet Union, America, Great Britain, and Nationalist China, right? These were the places that were the allies of World War II. So they should set the rules, right? Of course, there were political reasons behind it, and they knew how to politically maneuver shit and make people empathetic, but it was the first time in human fucking history that a group of people got something merely because something was done to them, right? Merely using empathy, using sympathy to get people to be like, oh shit, I guess we treated you Jews poorly. We should give you a state. We should give you a country. Oh yeah, I guess your original homeland of Israel, right? Even though your religion says specifically you are not to return until the Messiah comes back, we're just gonna give it to you. And even though you don't really give a fuck about your actual religion, clearly, right? Because no one of you actually follows your even tenets of your religion, we're gonna give you this fucking religious state that other people are currently also living in, just because we feel bad about what we did to you guys, right? We feel bad, well, the Nazis did it, but we kind of allowed it to happen too. But never mind that the actual people killed, were helped by the actual people that were killed were the people you didn't like. You other, Zionists didn't like those Jews anyway, and you saw them as fucking sacrifices. Never mind the fact that all that happened. We're going to give you this entire fucking country and allow you to just murder people at will for 80 years just to grab more and more territory, right? And so this is the fucking thing. This is the fucking logic. It's like, oh, since I was oppressed, I get to, in perpetuity, oppress other people and take their shit. In no time in human history has this ever been fucking logically done. And you know why? Because eventually you are going to run into contradictions, right? Eventually, when you tell a people they have a blank check to do whatever the fuck they want, there's going to be extremes of that group that push the line, keep pushing the line, keep seeing what they can get away with, and fucking psychopaths will do every fucking thing possible, like psycho fucking paths. There are psychopaths, by the way, in every fucking ethnicity, not just white people. There are psychopaths in every fucking ethnicity, right? Just because you're Jewish, just because you're black, doesn't mean you can't be a fucking psychopath, right? So if we have psychopaths, if we have Jewish psychopaths as Zionists that have a blank check to do whatever the fuck they want, guess what they're gonna do? Whatever the fuck they want, right? And so when you fucking condition this behavior over and over again for 80 fucking years, guess what they're gonna fucking do over time? Whatever the fuck they want. And guess who ran the fucking civil rights movement in the 1960s, right? In the 1960s, the Vietnam War was happening, right? But what was also happening? The civil rights movement, of course. But during that time, because black people didn't have rights, there weren't a lot of black lawyers back then, right? In the 1960s. Malcolm X talks about this, right? He said that when he was a kid in the 1930s or 40s, he was in middle school or something, and his teacher asked him something like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? What are your plans for your future? And he said, oh, maybe I'll be a lawyer. And then the teacher said to him, no, that's not a thing for you. You need to be more realistic, right? So then he just became a hustler because it was like, I don't want to fucking go to school if I, what's the point of school if I can't be a lawyer, right? If I can't do the things that I want to do, why don't I just fucking be a hustler, right? So back then, most of the lawyers were Jewish, right? There were a lot of Jewish lawyers back then. And most of the fucking NAACP, a lot of those people that were helping, the Jewish people that were helping the black people, the black liberals, like fucking Martin Luther King and the NAACP, guess who they were? They were Jewish liberals, right? Jewish lawyers, Jewish liberals. But they were also fucking Zionists. How do I know this? Because in 1967, in the Six-Day War happened, all of them fucking flipped to Zionism. All of them. It was very rare for a Jewish person to not be fucking Zionist back then. You can take that to the fucking bank. Check the fucking the history of the Six-Day War. They all flipped to Zionism. And once that happened, guess what? Guess who they were fucking working with? Guess who the black liberals were powwowing with? They were powwowing with these Jewish liberals. Guess where these ideas of using Afro-pessimism as like this constant fucking like thing of like, oh, black people, we'll never succeed. Oh, the world is against us. It's us against the world forever. Oh man, we shouldn't even fucking try. Like every race hates us. The Asians hate us. The Latinos hate us. The white people hate us. We're hated all around the world. And so we should just fight back. We should just kill people who are against us. That's a good strategy, right? Because we deserve justice. We deserve to just fucking kill people, because everyone's against us anyway. So, this is what they fucking do. When you go to HBCUs all around the country, these black liberal colleges, this is what they teach black people. They teach them all this Afro-pessimist ideology. This Afro-pessimist ideology, by the way, was first developed in the late 1800s, early 1900s during Jim Crow. It made a lot more sense back then because the black people in America had no idea what was going on with imperialism, had no idea what was going on with the rest of the world. And you don't know how I know this? Because in the 1930s, W.E.B. Du Bois was praising Imperial Japan. They said that this was a model to fight back against white supremacy. And never mind the fact that they were raping and murdering Asian people all over the fucking continent. This is what W.E.B. Du Bois said was a model, right? So I know that they didn't even have full knowledge of what Western imperialism actually was, because guess what? People in Asia have suffered. People in fucking South America have suffered. People in Southeast Asia have suffered. People in Africa have suffered from imperialism. All this shit that they didn't even hear about, and they don't even know about to this day, really, because they don't fucking care about anything that doesn't happen in America, right? Everything, they're just so America brain, like all Americans, they're just America brain. Whatever happens in America is the most important. They actually think that due to the civil rights movement, they actually helped black people all around the world. They actually think that they helped POC. This is the root of their fucking narcissism. They think because of the civil rights movement, by the way, which was leveraged by the Vietnam War, which was leveraged by the NAACP's allegiance to LBJ during the Vietnam War. And how do I know this? Because in 1967, Martin Luther King protests the Vietnam War in April 4th, I believe, and he was killed a year after, to that day, when he was doing stuff for all working class people. He was abandoned by the black, civil rights movement, right? Everyone fucking abandoned him. And he was already just doing homeless kind of like stuff, like working class kind of condition stuff, not just for black people. But then all of a sudden, he's killed by a white supremacist a year after he's not even associated with the NAACP anymore, right on the day he talked about Vietnam. That's a fucking CIA message. And then like Coretta Scott King, fucking when they made a resolution in 1973, praises fucking Zionism, defends Zionism again, says Zionism is not white supremacy. Zionism is actually anti-white supremacy. So this is how they conditioned the black community to think Jews and blacks have the same enemy, have the same, should be allies. And, oh, I see how the Jews did it. They used the Holocaust to keep getting more and more fucking favors, like more money from Germany, more money from Switzerland, more money from fucking everyone, right? 40 Holocaust museums in the United States. 40. You know how many fucking, slavery museums there are? You know how many fucking Native American museums there are? They're like 2 or 1, And they're seeing all this, the black liberal, right? And they're like, hey, this is how we get ours. We should be like, yeah, it's terrible. This is what the black liberal is doing. The rich bourgeois black liberal, right? They are constantly getting money and favors from the white liberal, who is usually Jewish, right? Because Jewish people vote liberal around 72%. So most of the white power structures in liberal fucking America are Jewish. So who do they go to? They go to these democratic, white, liberal controlled institutions. They're NBA, the music industry, everything is captured by Jewish white liberal capital. This is, they don't own the NBA. And up until recently, they didn't really own their, the means of production for their music stuff, right? And even their fucking, their movies, they're still under these studios, which are controlled by white or Jewish liberal fucking money, right? Like, any studio fucking movie, like fucking Black Panther, for example. That was a movie about a black revolutionary being killed by a black superhero at the behest of the white CIA officer. Like, literal fucking imperialism. Like, what are they? This is like Zog-occupied black liberalism, you know? I don't even fucking know. And then you have, like, Eric Adams, not even fucking mayor anymore, right? I don't even fucking know what he's doing. He's, like, in Israel, like, kissing the wall, right? He makes up an anti-Semitism party. It's just kind of like the fucking grift is so fucking obvious. You know what I mean? And this is the same thing with fucking Jeets, right? They always fucking complain about, oh, why are people so racist towards us? While they fucking cup Netanyahu's balls. Like, they are cupping the balls of Israel. And they're like, why does everyone hate us? You know, they're so fucking tribalistic. They have this thing called ISAT where, like, you know, it's just like there is just this tribalism that exists that is the same fucking thing. And guess who they glaze? They also glaze Israel, right? And fucking Jeets, right? Indonesia making fucking deals with Israel. Fucking the Philippines, always trying to, like, fuck with China at America's behest. Calling Chinese people racist or whatever the fuck, right? Calling East Asians racist. These are all fucking parasitical Jeets. And it all starts with Zionism. This fucking blind tribal political shit. This is all fucking Zionism. It's Jeetism. It's wokeism. It's Jeetism. It's all these fucking parasites. And they all hate China. Guess why? Because China proved to the white man that they don't need the white man. See, all these places, Zionism, black liberals and black lumpen proles, Jeets, and, you know, all these people, they depend on the white liberal power structure for their power, right? Who doesn't? Who in the world, who in the global society does not depend on the West, does not depend on Western power? It's China, right? Because over the past few years or so, they were like, okay, we're going to sanction you. We're going to put tariffs on you. And then China was like, okay, fine. Nothing fucking happened to China. They actually, like, their GDP actually grew. Right? They said, we're not going to sell you chips anymore. We're not going to sell you microprocessor anymore. And they're like, all right. They built their own, right? You know, we're going to try to, like, you know, not give you NVIDIA chips or whatever. And they were like, oh, wait, no, buy our NVIDIA chips. And then they were like, no, thank you. We don't need your NVIDIA chips. This is why all these fucking Jeets, all these fucking, you know, Zionists, they hate China because if China is ascendant, guess where their grift goes? It dies. It dies. The grift dies. The buck stops here. You know? The buck fucking stops here. And it's just like, with all this shit happening all at the same time, you know, I'm what did I fucking say? You know? I said, there's no way this isn't uncoordinated after Trump's administration was humiliated in China. The Asian diaspora had nothing to do with any of these, yet we're being threatened by Afro-Zionist Nazis. You know, the Hopaborian Nazi Wasian meetup in NYC. You know, the black K-pop anime stands complaining about not being in fucking K-pop and anime. Yes, this is fucking actually happening. This is fucking black Afro-Zionism into fucking Asian media. A country, you know, there is a rounding error amount of black people in Korea. Like, why would Korean creators be like, oh, let me put a black character in a drama set in Seoul where there are no fucking black people in them? What are you talking about? What are you fucking talking about? And they, you know, they included the Pakistani guy, right, in Squid Games, because that guy actually they have a significant amount of Pakistani people apparently. I don't fucking know. But that guy spoke Korean. Are there black actors in South Korea that speak Korean? I don't fucking know. Maybe they should apply to these jobs. Maybe you should wonder the reason why is because there probably aren't that many black people who like want to even be actors to begin with in Korea. Like, do they ever think about that? That like maybe the black people in Korea aren't there because they want to be actors, and like it's just fucking retarded. Right? And the Yale case, obviously, and now the 15 other DOJ cases that they're going against. Natasha Gate, obviously, and, which was fucking literal Japanese psyop. And they're still, like, insisting, no, Chinese people are racist. Like, Chinese people, East Asians, we like Japanese people, but East Asians, they all want to be white. I was like, this is literally the country that got mad at the world in the 1910s, 1920s, because they weren't accepted. They weren't equal to the fucking allies after World War I. So they were like, all right, I guess we just gotta fucking rape and murder all of Asia right now and genocide them, take all their shit, and then the white man will respect us as equals. You have literally a fucking country that wanted to be white so fucking bad that they killed 30 million people. And you are fucking glazing those motherfuckers. You dumb fucks. You know? And the Rick Chow case, obviously, we've talked about this. I don't fucking want to talk about this anymore. I'm just fucking over it. The biggest thing is that, like, Asian people, we had no fucking control over this outcome, right? You know? This was a thing that happened with 5 to 6, half the fucking jurors were black, right? You had a black lawyer on the defense team, right? You had a black judge, the bond bail judge, and the foreman of the jury, the person who fucking says not guilty, the verdict, who reads the verdict, who's the, kind of like the captain of the jury. That guy was also black. All right. So then it's like, if you want to point fingers, why are you pointing at us? What does me, a fucking, Korean American living thousands of miles away, have to do with this shit? Why are we being threatened right now? Are you fucking retarded? Like, and it happens right when the fucking Metcalf thing is, and that thing is obvious Afro-Zionism, That's like the most slam dunk, this guy is guilty case I've ever fucking seen. Are you fucking kidding me? Who brings a knife to a track meet? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you fucking kidding me right now? When I ran track, guess how many times I brought a knife to a track meet? I went to probably like hundreds of track meets. Well, not hundreds, probably like 100 track meets. Guess how many times I brought a knife to one? It rhymes with hero, okay? It rhymes with fucking hero. And why is a 14-year-old carrying a gun in the first place, right? Oh, everyone around there was carrying a gun. Everyone around fucking South Carolina apparently has a gun. Okay, why is that? Oh, because you got to protect yourself. Wait, so you got to protect yourself from who then? Oh, well, there's other people with guns. Oh, who are those other people with guns? Oh, there are other black boys with guns. So you mean to tell me that the reason they're carrying guns is because of other black people in the area? Because why else would a 14-year-old need a gun? Why else would a 14-year-old need to carry a gun into a store? Right? Never mind the fact that obviously it's illegal for a 14-year-old to have a gun. South Carolina, it's a felony for a minor to own a firearm. And so, yeah, that's a fucking, illegal thing to fucking do in the first place. right? Like, why are you doing this illegal shit? And it was just so fucking insane. Like, when the fucking father was like, this is why they need to carry guns. I was like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, cause Asian store owners are trying to target black children. You know, you bring up Latasha Harlins all the time, right? Like, this 35-year-old, you have to go back 35 years to a fucking event in 1991 to prove a pattern that the Asian community has it out for black America. Never mind the fact that they think that we still, like, make all of our money off black people, right? When 4%, literally fucking 4% of Asian-owned businesses are in black neighborhoods. And guess what? That's going to be 0% in, like, probably 10 years because of shit like this. You know that Rick Chow guy? He's 62 years old. That ain't a fucking millennial owning those stores anymore. A millennial, that fucking Andy Chow? You think he's going to fucking run a store in South Carolina? Do you think people, his friends, his generation is going to fucking operate one of those fucking stores? Are you fucking kidding me? No, they're going to fucking be like, oh shit, if I don't study my ass off, I'm going to get fucking murdered by running one of these stupid fucking stores. That motherfucker is probably like studying his ass off, you know, every fucking day. He's like, I got to get into fucking Harvard or some shit. Got to get the fuck out of here. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Who the fuck would want to fucking run a store? You know, black people didn't even want to fucking run a store there. Black people, you know how I know that? Because I researched the LA riots. And back when, you know, the Watts riots happened in 1965, the Jewish store owners, they were all compensated by the state, by LA. Jewish store owners got the fuck out of there. They all left. That's what they say, white flight or whatever. Guess what? You made them fucking flight, right? And then they sold their business. Who did they sell them to? Well, it was in 1960, so there weren't Korean people there yet, right? We didn't come until 65 mostly. So they sold them to black people in the community, right? Like black business. That was the idea, right? Black businesses, black people selling to black people. Great, right? But then guess what else happened after the fucking Watts riots? Well, you know what else happened? Because I researched this. The Crips and Bloods became a fucking thing in the late 1960s. They started in that time because, again, probably because of this Zionist, Afro-Zionist shit of like, hey, if we riot, if we cause violence, if we kill people, then we get more shit, you know? That's essentially Zionism, right? And so they spread that shit to their lumpenproll class, which they continue to do so with their rap music, but that's a different story, right? This is all Zionist-controlled fucking propaganda of making black people their goy cattle. That's the fucking truth of it. And once they sold to black people, so they were operating in the 60s and the 70s, and then Korean immigrants started to come, right, in the 70s and 80s, right? And so they're like, okay, what can we do? Well, can't start a business in fucking Beverly Hills. That's for fucking sure. You know? No white person is going to want to fucking support an Asian, business when they could, just support their own white businesses. Well, I guess we got to run stores in the black neighborhoods because there's no other place that, will have us. And guess what was going on in those black places? They didn't have any fucking big box stores, They didn't have a Target. They didn't have a fucking A&P. They didn't have a fucking Walmart or whatever. I don't know what the equivalents are back then. But, they didn't have big box supermarkets. So they only had corner stores. They only had these small stores back then in South Central. And these black people were like, I am sick and tired of this shit. That's what black people were like in the 1980s. Because guess what was happening in the 1980s? There was mass fucking poverty. And when there's mass fucking poverty, it was mass fucking crime. The 1980s were fucking insane. People don't fucking remember that. Because they only remember after the Soviet Union fell, the good times of the 90s. People don't remember. The 80s were fucking terrible. Like, there was 3 to 4 times as much violence in LA in the 1980s than there is today. 3 to 4 times. Like, as crazy as you might think LA is today, that was fucking batshit. In the 1988, they had to fucking, like, run SWAT teams all over the fucking city because the Olympics were going there, right? So because the Olympics were going on, and they didn't want to look like fucking total, shitstorm going on in LA, they had SWAT teams just fucking roaming the streets to clear out everything for those 2 months or whatever, however long the fucking Olympics are. And it's like, the reason why Asian businesses are Asian owned is because even black people didn't want to sell to black people. And we can see that. We could see black fatigue from black people in the 1990s, right? We saw Chris Rock in 95 tell us what the fucking deal was. I mean, everyone fucking forgets that. Like, black people know, there's the lumpenproll and the liberals that work together in the black community. And then there are the working class and, the fucking petty bourgeois that own their own stores or whatever. And then there, the labor aristocracy, right? But the bourgeois, the black bourgeois and the black lumpenproll, they have the same fucking culture, right? Literally, right? Because who creates that culture? The people that make that shit, that make that rap music, that, play, basketball or whatever, athletes or celebrities. These celebrities are creating this culture that is lumpenproll in nature, right? And so they're allied together because, like, they need the lumpenproll shit to exist in order for them to justify their own existence, right? Like, you can't really grift off black liberation if black people are liberated, right? So it's in the black bourgeoisie's best interest to keep this black lumpenproll class, just kind of like angry and whatever, but like not really doing shit, but just to keep them angry, right? This is where they generate their votes. This is where they generate their, fucking cultural relevance. This is like, they maintain the black lumpenproll class in order to maintain their own power within the white liberal Jewish power structure, right? White or Jewish, right? Like, I'm not saying liberals are all Jewish, obviously. There's a lot of whiteoids in there as well, To me, to Asian people, to fucking everyone who's not white and Jewish are essentially the same. We just, you're a white Christian or you're white Jewish, right? That's what, and you know what? That's how it's categorized in fucking in the West in political stuff too. Jews are considered white in America politically. And so, anyhow, I'm just fucking like, and you know what pisses me off the most? These fucking like black liberals or former black liberals who fucking LARP as Marxist-Leninists and then say shit like, oh, something needs to happen. Oh, the Rick Chow thing happened. Something like the LA riots needs to happen again. It's like, are you fucking retarded? You're literally calling for lumpenproll anarchism. You are not a fucking Marxist-Leninist. You are not a dialectical materialist. You are just a fucking anarchist adventurist. You have no fucking conception of what actual dialectical materialism is. You have no conception of what fucking building mass community is. You are just leaning back into your Afro-pessimism. Afro-pessimism is just fucking anarchist. It's an anarchist ideology. right? Because there's no fucking conclusion to Afro-pessimism. There's no fucking conclusion. Like what? You're just going to kill your way to liberation? Just going to kill everyone until they give you liberation? It's not going to work out. That's not a good strategy, right? You're just, you know what you're doing? You're just handing white people additional leverage to increase fascism against your own communities. Because that's what's going to happen, right? Let's say you get your wish, right? You get your wish and a bunch of black people just destroy, Asian people's households or whatever fucking, or businesses or whatever the fucking case may be. What do you think? How do you think the American fucking media machine is going to portray that shit? They're going to be like, see, we need, like, Trump is going to be like, see, look at all this. We need law and order. We need fucking SWAT teams everywhere now. We need to fucking militarize our police even more. Like, are you fucking retarded? Like, these fucking black liberals LARPing as communists, and the moment something like this happens, they fucking knee-jerk reaction to their black liberalism, their black anarchism, and don't even fucking consider theory of mind, right? Don't even consider the facts. That they just see black child dead, Latasha Harlins, Never mind the fact that in this case, the guy had a fucking gun, right? Never mind that. An illegal gun. Why is a fucking black boy have a gun in the first place? This is why I fuck with black Republicans. I fuck with black libertarians. Because they're calling this shit out. Black conservatives, And even some more like black centrists kind of right now. I feel like a lot of like the 90s, right? Like Chris Rock in the 90s, a lot of black people are also feeling black fatigue. They're calling this shit out a lot more. Like 6 years ago, it was every black person against Asian people, right? It was fucking, just everyone was on BLM. Everyone was on that BLM tick, But I noticed this time around, there's a lot of black people who are like, wait, so he had a gun though, He had a gun though. Why does he have a fucking gun? And yeah, I guess he put the fucking water bottle back. But who in their right mind saw that video and was like, oh yeah, he was just going to buy something? Nobody fucking thought that. If you are being honest, nobody fucking thought that. Zero people fucking thought. He was just going in there to buy a bottle of water and he didn't even take it. He put it back. And it's like, wait, why are you taking things out of a fridge and then putting them back in? Like, are you, like, do you think we're fucking retarded? That's the fucking thing. Like, they think we're fucking retarded and that we don't know what the fuck is going on. And that's the other thing. Like, it's like, oh no, he was profiling. They were following all around the store. It's like, yeah, because a lot of black people have robbed from that store already. Because a lot of people in general have robbed in that store. They were probably fucking following every fucking person in that store. White, black, whatever. Every fucking person was probably stealing so much that they were following everyone. But of course they were like, oh, they were profiling. And not only that, like I said before, half the fucking jury was black, right? So that means, likely, I think that was the case too. I think I saw something like 50% of that area was black. So you're not exactly racial profiling when all your customers are black. It's just that all your or a lot of the people that come into your store are robbing from you. So it's not like this racist thing. It's just pattern recognition. It's like, here we go again. A teenager comes into our store, probably going to steal. So let's fucking follow him. Let's see if he does. Oh, he tried, and because we were watching, if we weren't fucking watching, he would have stole that fucking water. Let's be fucking real. He takes the water out of the fucking fridge, and then he looks around, And he's like, oh shit, they're watching me. And then he puts it back. That's what he was fucking doing. And it's like, that's what, like, I can understand the black lumpenproll being mad about it. I can understand the black liberals trying to, like, fucking, you know, propagandize about it, right? To gain brownie points. But they're not even doing that in this case. The black liberals, they're not even touching this shit. It's all the black lumpenproll right now, right? But then you have these fucking fake-ass communist LARPs that are joining in the lumpenproll. Like fucking Noble Q Ali, that piece of shit. He's a fucking retard. He's a LARP. You know what he does? He fucking retweets all that shit about, like, something needs to be done about the Asian community. These fucking, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know where he is right now? He's in fucking China. Even he had black fatigue. What? You're not going to live with your own people now? You're just going to run away to China? Fucking idiot. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, I've been fucking... How long have I been yapping about this for? Oh, God. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Fuck. Let me read the comments here. I had my own reservations about Japan when I heard about Nanjing. I was brainwashed by their culture. Zios were homies with the Austrian painter. They were. I mean, the thing is, the Austrian painter, guess who his driver was? His driver was Jewish. His driver was the number 2 in the SS, and he was Jewish. Driving around in his 1939, you know, Mercedes-Benz that you see in Roger Rabbit, because Steven Spielberg hates, you know, Nazis, of course. But, you know, Mr. Doom or whatever is driving one of those fucking 1930s era BMW, the Mercedes-Benz. Emil Maurice is driving around, Hitler around in his Benz, you know. And they have done whatever the fuck they want. I think that mentality is primarily from black lives living in Western countries, not so much from African immigrants. African immigrants, they get it. African immigrants have black fatigue. It's just everyone. Like all of Africa, like when they're, you know, that's the funny part when they're like, you know, like, all these black babies in Africa are being, you know, whatever in China and blah, blah, blah. Chinese people are doing such... It's like, black people in Africa are like, you don't give a shit, bro. You don't fucking give a shit, bro. You don't fucking give a shit. Like, let's be real. The guy in Africa... I've seen this shit too, you know? African people... interacting with African American or black Americans, they do not like each other. They do not fucking like each other one fucking bit. You know, there's all this talk about solidarity and Pan-Africa, blah, 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 whatever. Pan-Africa? You guys all glaze Obama. Guess what Obama did? He fucking took out Gaddafi, who was trying to make Pan-Africa a thing. Like, so the black African guy is like, what are you fucking talking about? You want a Pan-Africa. You want us all to fucking be, you know, we're all the same. We're all one people. And, you know. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. Black Americans like that, like the FBA or whatever, they don't actually like being called African American because they're like, no, we're different. We want, you know, we're ADOS. We're African descendant of slaves. We're heritage Americans. So these immigrant black people, they're taking our privileges. They're taking our whatever that we deserve. We deserve these reparations. Don't give them reparations to those black people. You know, fuck them. You know, never mind the fact that, you know, part of the reason America is rich in the first place is not just because of slavery. You know, it's imperialism of Africa, too. Like the fucking Congo, all that shit. Where do you think America got its uranium for the Manhattan Project? But anyway, I don't know. I'm just fucking watching the end of the world. I just fucking watching the world burn. Everyone's just fucking retarded. You know, we're all just fucking complaining about this nonsensical shit. And our eye is off the ball, and guess who, right? Eye is off the ball. Eye is off the ball now on Iran, on Israel. Everyone's fully fucking distracted, you know, with, you know, and the people who don't care about that shit, they're being distracted, obviously, by the NBA. You know, so they got everyone's brains on lock right now while they're doing all this shit, right? Like they're literally fucking, the SEC lowers its fucking limits for 500,000 to 2,000 for participating in the SpaceX IPO, and it's like, oh fuck, they're trying to exit dump on us. Nobody fucking is talking about that shit because they're all like, bleh. Bleh. I'm just fucking over everything. Anyway, China, Russia, Iran. You think that mentality is primarily going from black? Yeah. Fuck siege eats. Black lives complain about how Chinese are white worshipping, but yet China is the only country that effectively challenging this entire. That's exactly right, right? You know why black liberals can complain about that? Because black liberals also, you know who they complain about? They complain about Malcolm X. Guess who actually was like, we should follow the Chinese. When you have a strong Africa, when you have a strong China, nobody says there ain't no chance for a Chinaman anymore, right? So he was like, if you create a strong Africa, nobody will look down on the black man anymore. So we have to create a strong Africa. Black liberals didn't like it. Black liberals didn't like it when he called them Uncle Toms. Malcolm X called them out for supporting Zionism. And then he was killed 2-3 months later. That's what fucking happened. He called out Zionism. He said the Jews are fucking running our place. The Jews are controlling us. The Jews are controlling our communities. And guess what? He was fucking right the entire time. And the black liberals hate him because he was telling the fucking truth. He was showing them this is where their money is coming from. This is where the black liberal gets his money. This is how he operates. He operates with the white liberal to accumulate privileges for himself, but fuck all for the rest of the community. This is what the fucking black liberal does. That is why the black liberal hates Malcolm X. And that is why the black liberal hates China. Because, like Malcolm X says, this is the model for your actual fucking liberation. But the black liberals, they're comfortable, right? They're billionaires. They're trillionaires. They're Epstein. They're throwing their Epstein Diddy parties, right? They don't want that shit to fucking, you know, be a thing. They don't want people to, their people to be like, oh yeah, we should fucking think about China. We should fucking think about, because guess what happens when that happens? They lose their power. They lose their privilege, right? Nobody fucking cares about, you know, all these fucking black celebrities. And that's what they, you know, Malcolm X called out too. He was like, look at these black celebrities. Like, do you ask a white celebrity? Well, now they do, but back then, I guess they didn't. So back then, they were like, do you ask a white celebrity? Do you like ask a white athlete what they think about what's going on in the world and politics? No. You ask a political pundit, right? You ask an actual white person that knows what they're talking about. But for politics, you just ask these black ball players and these whatever. It's like, what does a trumpet player know about fucking, you know, all this fucking shit? Why are you broadcasting? Why are you making all this big thing? It's because he saw that they were using these black celebrities to control people. Right? Everyone who's like a Beyonce stan or whatever the fuck, they're all K-Hive people too, right? They all like, yeah, it's black is beautiful. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Never mind the fact that she jailed a bunch of black people for marijuana possession, right? Never mind the fact that she was one of the most ruthless fucking DAs in California. You know, she's Jamaican, man. Of course she'd smoke some ganja. Get the fuck out of here. Never mind the fact that she tries to hide her half Indian heritage. You know. But that's just fucking. It's just like, I don't know, man. Black lives complain. Yeah. Odds were stacked against Rick Chow. The odds were fucking stacked against that guy. And he was in jail for 3 years. He was in fucking jail. Not like, house arrest like Carmelo Anthony. I was saying, like, man, Melo is having a terrible week right now. This fucking Carmelo Anthony case, and then, like, the Knicks making the finals, when he didn't even make the second round. Melo's like, fuck my life right now. Fuck. Oh, man. I love how a 14-year-old carrying a loaded gun is just kids being kids. Yeah, it's just kids being kids, It's normal, dude. I was afraid. When I was 14 years old, I was afraid to go near fucking butterfly knives. Are you kidding me? I was afraid to go near anything that dangerous. Actually, black people hate other black store owners. I know this. Let's just say their choice. Wait, what do they say about... Why do they hate black store owners, Chevy? Doug, you know your stuff about that era. It is true. You know. Yeah, I fucking researched that shit. I'm a shop owner in a black neighborhood. I'm so fucking done, bro. Asian movement. Why haven't you gotten the fuck out? Get the fuck out, man. Why would you carry a piece? In the era of Trump, expect tanks to roll in the ghetto. That's what's gonna fucking happen. Like, what are they fucking even talking about? Candace Owens was always on point. He risked it all just to steal a bottom wall. I don't get it. Might have been interesting if Squid Game had an indebted, dishonorably discharged USMC dude as a side play. That'd been funny. But I don't know. I feel like I went on a pretty long rant there, but that's just like, that's what it is. And why I call it borderline. I don't know if you guys know what borderline personality disorder is. But there are 4 main kind of like psychopath disorders, right? Well, I would say that bipolar isn't really psychopath one, though it is kind of clustered with the cluster Bs. But anyway, the cluster B symptom or cluster B syndromes are kind of like the bad syndromes, There's narcissistic personality disorder, obviously. There's bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, and general psychopathy, right? Which is called antisocial personality disorder. To me, I actually think that borderline personality disorder is the most tricky for me to handle. Because psychopaths, I can kind of sense if they're psychopaths pretty early on. Because I trained myself from an early age to recognize psychopathy because of all the bullying I was subjected to. Which is why I also kind of sometimes portray psychopathic, because I've learned some of their methods, right? But I'm autistic. I'm not a psychopath, I think. Hopefully. But anyway, borderline personality disorder, for those of you who don't know, is a little bit more tricky because their disorder usually comes from some sort of childhood trauma, typically sexual in nature. And due to that trauma, they are very good at manipulating people, because that's how they had to grow up. They had to kind of figure out how not to get abused or whatever from, an authority figure, right? So that entire time they're trying to kind of please and like calm the authority figure down and kind of like make them feel like, good about themselves, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So they're very good at like making you feel good about yourself and manipulating you and kind of like empathizing with you and understanding you, right? But then there's another side of them, that kind of lashes out, right? And that's the fucking bad part of it, where they accuse you of now being abusive to them. They accuse you of all this other fucking shit that isn't fucking true. But it's hard to be like, fuck you, get the fuck out, because initially you were like, oh yeah, that sucked for you, that's terrible for you, or whatever. Or they were maybe you didn't even know about that, and they were already kind of like charming, or they seemed like a good person, and they got you, they understood you, and they were able to make you feel good, right? But then now they're accusing you of doing something bad to them, which isn't fucking even. It's just like paranoia, and this disorder that manifests. That's the way it manifests, right? It's the same shit with identity politics. It's the same shit of like, you have to start with oppression, right? You're not gonna get Zionism with fucking Anglos, right? Because obviously, right, for the past 500 years. No one would buy that shit, right? No one would fucking buy that shit. So you have to start with legitimate fucking thing that happened, right? You have to start with an actual thing that happened, and Jews, for all their fucking, Zionism, whatever, they did go through a lot of shit, right? For 2,000 years. I'm not saying that didn't happen. But they weren't, totally innocent back then either. Right, they're trying to portray it as if it was one-sided. They were always getting attacked by the Christians or the Muslims. That wasn't exactly true. They actually, Muslims actually tried to help them during the Crusades. The Christians were going after Jews too during the Crusades, and Muslims were trying to defend some Jews in their area. And so, but for the most part, they're correct in saying that for thousands of years, they were unfairly kind of like discriminated against, and all these fucking tropes about Jews and all this other stuff that did happen, right? So you have to start with something like that. Like with black people, they were enslaved, right? That happened, right? Jim Crow, that happened, and shit like, Trayvon Martin does happen too, right? So it's a legitimate thing. Right, but at what point is it like, all right, well, yeah, this bad thing happened to you, but then you can't fucking use that card every fucking time. You can't pull this out every time you want to win an argument. This is what borderline personality people do. They pull out their trauma or whatever, or they accuse you of something, or, nonsensical or whatever. And because they have all this hurt or whatever, you're supposed to be like, oh shit, sorry, And then like over time, this, like, if you keep allowing this shit to happen, they're just going to keep pushing the line, right? Like black people, Black Lump Patrol, even the Black Lump Patrol, they weren't this crazy just like 10 years ago. Just even like 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Like, before the fucking woke era, before fucking Black Panther pulled the shit off everyone, Wakanda forever, before that, even Black Lumber Patrol people, they're like, all right, we probably do a lot of gangster shit. We're not gonna lie, right? Right? But now it's like, oh, we don't do that. We don't do that at all. We're whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you have black fatigue from black people. I saw black people, some black people calling them EBT people, EBT black people or something. I was like, oh God, I'm not even that mean. I'm not going to say it myself. I'm not going to call them EBT people, whatever, but I'm just going to call them by their class profile, which is lumpenprol, right? If you are just living off welfare, not really producing commodities, that's what you are, right? And so that's what it is. It's group borderline personality disorder. Like India is the same thing, right? Yeah. They got fucking destroyed by Britain. No one's fucking denying that. But then why are you attacking China? Why are you glazing Israel? Why are you attacking Asian Americans? Why are you never fucking attacking Britain directly? Just fucking go to war with Britain, goddammit. India, you know what, India? You have all these nukes. You have all these, let's go, India. And guess what? The crown jewels, you didn't take them back. England still has your fucking crown jewels. Why don't you fucking do something about that? Instead of fucking attacking China, instead of attacking Asian Americans, instead of attacking East Asians, you dumb fucks, why don't you attack England? Get your shit back. Be like, give us our shit back, you dumb fucks. Why don't you do that ever? Why don't you fucking take back what's yours from the actual people that fucking colonized you and made you their bitch for like 200 years? Get your shit back, right? And the Seajeets, right? We never told you to fucking kill your own people in the Indonesian genocide. We never told you to fucking, serve as the bases for U.S. military during Vietnam in Thailand and fucking whore out your men and women, trans women. We never told you to do that. We never told you to be the fucking, the Philippines, to be the fucking center of American imperialism, the rest of the fucking world, or the rest of fucking Asia. We didn't ask the Philippines. They take it as a badge of honor that they helped America in the Korean War. They think that that's the badge of honor that they have. Like, are you fucking retarded? Like, why don't you fucking attack the Americans for once? The people that fucking enslaved you and still enslaving you, still cucked. India had the Britain, Philippines had America, right? And guess what? India glazes white people in Britain. Philippines glaze white people in America still. Who's the actual fucking cucked one right now? And fucking saying that we want to be fucking white? Get the fuck out of my face. Dumb fucks. Who else is there? Who else is on the fucking list? We got the Zionists. We got the Afro-Zionists. We got the fucking Jeets. We got the Seajeets. Right? Who else is fucking using their oppression, as leverage to fucking fuck with people? Because guess what? All your fucking power is derived from white liberals in America. That's where you get all your fucking power. And that's why you're fucking cockroach, parasitical scum. That's the other thing too. Like they make neo-Nazis in Indonesia during the Jakarta genocide. The people on the side of the genocide were literally reading Adolf Hitler books. They were literally fucking Mein Kampf. Like, the book of the Jakarta genocide, it's written by Vincent Bevins. Talked all about that shit. Talked all about how you guys were fucked by the CIA and you followed them right to the T. You're the ones who fucking follow the CIA. Kill your own people. I go visit my Asian grocery store and they always tell me how black people get angry when you follow them. You know what Asian people do? We get angry when you steal from us. Maybe stop doing that shit and we won't follow you around. Like, where's the fucking logic? And talking about profiling, whatever. Yeah, I guess white people don't steal. And you could say that's racist or whatever, but it's just fucking true. Like, you're the ones who are saying white people have all the money, all the power, all the privilege. So yeah, it makes sense. Why would they steal if they have the money to pay for shit? By your own logic, you have made yourself cast as the people who are stealing from us. Like, the reason we don't follow white people around, probably, is because it's rare. I mean, like, it does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Of course it fucking happens. Of course there's white shoplifters, you know, whatever. That I'm not saying it doesn't fucking happen. But when you're like a store owner in a very big black neighborhood, first of all, most of your customers are black. So it isn't exactly racial profiling when you're just, everyone is like, let's say there was, you fucking opened a store in Zimbabwe, right? Where it's all black, right? And you followed every single customer around, right? Let's say you're a black store owner in these black communities, and all your customers are black, and you're following every black customer around. Are you fucking racist? No, you're just fucking like, that's what happens. I need to fucking protect my fucking store from theft. Like, what are you fucking talking about, racial profiling? Kid had a gun. It's ultimately just a tragedy, but people need to read into it because they're secretly begging for some huge shit to go down with today's internet jeet nihilism. Yeah. That's what I've been fucking calling out. I'm like, this country wants to kill us. I've been saying that for 6 years. This is Nazi America. We are the fucking Jews of Nazi America. Asians are the fucking Jews of Nazi America. It was the same fucking thing 100 years ago. Right? Guess what happened in fucking Germany in the 1920s? There was a guy named Hitler who was like, look, all these Jews, you know, they're starting this communism shit in the Soviet Union, and they're going to destroy the Soviet Union. They're gonna, you know, they also fucking own all the capital markets, own all the money. You know, they're all rich, and they fucking like parasites taking all of our, you know, not really doing work, taking our shit. That's what he said about Jewish people, right? They were responsible for the Treaty of Versailles. They were traitors, right? Guess how white liberals portray Asian people? Look, black people, they're in the way. See, we want to give you affirmative action, but these Asian people, they're fucking, you know, racist. They're actually more anti-black than white people are. You know. Oh, this communist shit. Look what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring this commie shit. You know, these Asians. You know, that's why you got to kill them in Vietnam. You know, they're trying to bring this communist shit to America. So you got to go over to Vietnam and kill them for us. That's how you show you're patriotic, actually. Oh yeah, and you know, like they own all the stuff in your neighborhoods. They own all the stores. You know, they profit the way that they profit, the way that they make money. They make all their money off the black community. They're actually exploiting you. By selling you products, they're actually exploiting you. By buying things from them, you're being exploited. You know, never mind the fact that you don't have any nail salons or corner stores or grocery stores or whatever, blah, 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 because all the black people that tried that shit got the fuck out. Never mind that. They're trying to, they make most of their money from the black community, which is not even fucking true. You know? It might have been true like 30, 40 years ago. But guess what? 4% of Asian American owned businesses are in black communities. An Asian movement, you got to get the fuck out. Oh, man. People aren't talking about how the kid didn't have a gun. He would still be alive. He would still be a fucking alive. Or conversely, if he wasn't alive, Rick Chow would have been convicted. That's the fucking rub, right? If he didn't have a gun, 100% he gets convicted. 100 fucking percent. But Doug, we built the railroads, bro. I'm in it from the money, brother. Well, it's the only card they have, man. The money ain't worth it, but hey, it's your thing. Well, people aren't so bad in the area. Dude, the welfare hustle. South Carolina sounds bad. Yeah, I would never fucking run a store. I don't even know why the fuck Asians are in South Carolina. Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of there, man. I'm in South Carolina. I run an Asian gas station. It's not a pretty sight. It's not pretty at all. It fucking sucks. I gotta eat grits in the morning, and it gets shot up by fucking black teenagers. You do meet true blue good character people, but most act like you killed their family or some shit. And say racist ass shit. They make neo-Nazis seem swell. Well, that's what I said. I said the Black Lumpenproll are the SA wing of the Democratic Nazi Party, and the Black Liberals are the SS, right? The SA, for those of you who don't know, are the stormtroopers. They're the brown shirts. They're the original goons that Hitler employed to intimidate people in Germany to get votes and to intimidate communists, obviously, to fight them, kill them, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Violence. The SS are the officers, whatever. The SA kind of got rolled into the SS eventually, but the SS were the people in power, the people in control. You know, Heinrich Himmler was the leader of the SS. And so that's why I call the Black Liberals the SS wing and Black Lumpenproll the SA wing of the anti-Asian Nazi Democratic Party. For the rest, that's fine. You know, I feel like black, like I said before, when I talk to black proletariat, talk to black libertarian, you know, black, you know, small business owners, they're all like, we get it. Especially the small business owners, right? Especially the black business. You will notice out of all these fucking debates about, you know, the store or whatever, Rick Chow, whatever, you will never see a single black business owner being like, yeah, that was fucked up. Show me one. Show me a black business owner. Show me a black business owner who is like, that was fucked up, man. Show me a black business owner who's has a business in a black community or has experience in a black community. Tell me that guy is on the fucking front lines denouncing Rick Chow. Where is that guy? Where is the black business owner in these black neighborhoods that is like, man, that guy, I would never have done that. You know why? Because it happens all the fucking time to black businesses too. And there's probably been a black Rick Chow out there that's killed one of these, you know, boys, whatever, that had a gun. And the black community didn't say shit about that, obviously, because they knew he was in the wrong. He had a fucking gun. He pulled it on the guy. And the black business owner shot him. Right? This happens all the fucking time. Don't pretend like it doesn't fucking happen. The black business owner knows what's up. Right? You will never see one of those black business owners being like, yeah, fuck Asian people for, Rick Chow. I'm curious. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody can find that for me, and I'll have egg on my face. I'm glad to fucking admit it. I would love to talk to that person. I would love to talk to that person. I would love to see exactly what he's about. But I would guess that there is none. I would guess that there is 0 black business owners in majority black communities like South Carolina. I'm not talking about like, a fancy black community in Inglewood or some shit in LA or whatever. That's kind of suburban now or whatever. I'm talking about, one of those South Carolina places, probably backwater fucking areas. The welfare hustle. That's the other part too, right? With affirmative action, with welfare, whatever, the whole point of those things, they're supposed to be training wheels, right? They're supposed to be the training wheels that you put on your bike when you're like 7 years old, 6 years old. You have a terrible sense of balance. You're uncoordinated. You're a retard, right? When you're a kid. Those training wheels help you so you don't fucking fall down all the time. They're the fucking guardrails when you bowl when you're 6 years old. So it doesn't go in the gutter every fucking time. You use those things so that when you fucking grow up, when you get a little older, now you don't need those things anymore. Now you can take the training wheels off and you can be self-sufficient, right? How long does the black community need these training wheels? It seems more like they've become dependent on those training wheels and have decided that, you know what? This life ain't so bad. It sucks. It's worse to try. It sucks to go to work. So you know what? I'm not even going to try anymore. I'm just going to fucking coast. And it's like, when your media is telling your children that the only way to get rich, just like Malcolm X's time, right? Malcolm X's time was the same thing. They were telling their children, you got to think about something, maybe a bellboy, maybe whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you tell them, you know what? We ain't doing that shit. We ain't picking cotton no more, right? We ain't doing those stupid jobs that, that are demeaning or whatever. Never mind the fact that a lot of white people still have to do those jobs to survive. We ain't doing that shit. Right? It's been 60 years since those bills and civil rights stuff have been passed. How much longer will it take for the black community to start benefiting off those training wheels, to start, bootstrapping themselves to a better future? How long will it take? I don't know why my nose is so fucking itchy. I don't even know why. Sorry. Now I look like fucking Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Somebody is telling me to play Fortnite called Jasper1112 on Twitch. Sorry, I don't have Fortnite, nor do I play video games on this stream, so I'm sorry. That's not what the stream is. But thanks for commenting, I guess. Thanks for sorrying. The Wasian's talking about how hard it is to be mixed. Are you fucking... God, I will put the fucking Wasians on. You know, Wasians like that are like Elliot Rodger Wasians. Fucking Elliot Rodger Wasians. Pieces of shit. CG's Trump's Nazis and black libtards. CGs are the absolute fucking worst. CGs are so fucking scummy. I'm just so like, God. Like, handle your own shit, CGs. Handle your own fucking shit. They're the absolute fucking worst. Before Asian stoners, there were Jewish stoners, just saying. That's what Malcolm X was saying, right? And you know for a fact they were much more racist than fucking Korean store owners. Crown Heights riots, those stores got destroyed. What's Crown Heights? Facts. Lol, dude. For a dude who hasn't done black stores, you know your shit about the black store owners too. You're right though. Lol. I mean, I do a lot of research. When I talk about something, I'm fairly confident about what I'm talking about because that's what I do. I fucking study shit. I figure out what's actually going on, you know? I try to remain objective. I'm like, okay, if the hypothesis is that Asians are all these evil people, whatever, let me look into it. Let me figure out what's actually going on. That's what dialectical materialism is, right? It's like, hey, we need to actually go into step by step what all the facts are, what the history is, you know. Thanks. You're going to tell them. Wait, where do you live, Chevy? Do you live in New York? No investigation, no right to speak. Exactly. Nobody fucking investigates shit. And that's what I'm talking about too, you know. Not just these fucking black liberal LARPs who are LARPing at Marxist-Leninists. It's all these fucking... It's anyone who's not Asian. They're all fucking LARPing. Right? Because everyone can see the bullshit about the Rick Chow shit. Everyone can fucking see that. But do you see any of these Marxist-Leninists calling that out? No. They don't give a shit. They don't give... Because you know why? Because they don't want to look bad. They don't want to look like they're racist, right? For being like, hey, wait a second. You know? They don't want to seem like they're, you know? It's this fucking liberal shit that they set up. That's the ironic part. You know what I mean? They talk about liberalism. They talk about all this fucking like propaganda from white liberals, whatever. But they still have this fear of being called racist, of being called anti-black, because they don't care. They don't care if Asian diaspora gets murdered. I've seen this one person, they're trying to connect us to fucking Cuban gusanos now. These fucking retards are trying to literally connect us to Cuban gusanos. People who had fucking money, from fleeing from Cuba are now equivalent to the fucking random Korean person coming from war-torn Korea to fucking America with, like, you know, literally no, like, do you think those Cubans, those fucking, you know, gusanos who are like Ricky Rubio or whatever, do you think they came from no money? I mean, like that they ran businesses in black neighborhoods to get by? Are you fucking serious? Shut the fuck up, dumb fucks. You guys are all fucking Nazi scum. Everyone, like, these Western, I don't fucking give a shit if you're black, white, Hispanic, anyone non-Asian who's fucking not calling this out for what it is, anti-Asian propaganda, you're fucking scum. You're fucking Nazi scum. You don't care about Asia. You treat China as a concept. You know how I know that too? Even fucking everyone's like, every single fucking communist party in America has critiqued China about what it should do, what it shouldn't do. Like, get the fuck out of here. Who the fuck do you think you are telling China what to do? You didn't do fucking shit. What has Western Marxism accomplished? Fucking jack shit. Soviet Union went to shit after white-eyed fucking Khrushchev took over. Lenin was Kalmyk. Stalin was Georgian. They were Asians. They weren't fucking white-oids. What has white-oid Marx and fucking, Cuba, for that matter? That Cuba went to shit too. Fucking white-oid, fucking Fidel Castro LARPing all over the fucking place. Get the fuck out of here. Telling Chinese people, oh, we have always known that Chinese people. Shut the fuck up, Cuban. Fucking retard. God damn. Fucking tired of everyone in this fucking country. That's why I'm gonna fucking start my own fucking. I've decided when I go back to New York, I'm gonna fucking start my own fucking Asian American oriented fucking party. Because this is bullshit. Everything is fucking bullshit here. Communists, get the fuck out. You're not a fucking communist. You're a fucking LARP. You don't care about Asian people. You don't care about 20 million people who will get fucking annihilated if we actually go to war with China. Fucking dumb scum. Pieces of shit. Get the fuck out of here. Well, I actually might visit Matt Kim at some point, so maybe we can meet up there. It's called Crown Height Riots. When I say Jew-ish, my comment got blocked. You already mentioned it, but the whole reason I easily sided with China since 2020 was because I saw they lied in the same form and way and tactics about China now as for Muslims in previous decades. Yeah. That's what I called out to in my I don't know if you guys read my article, but the philosophy of Jihadism. Did I mention it there? I forget why I mentioned it, but basically I say that every decade in the 20th century, it was a new Asian to be mad at. And it was just like, in the 1900s, it was Japan, because in 1905, Japan defeated Russia, and then the white-oids were like, oh, fuck. Can't let these fucking non-whites, fucking be all whatever. So in the 1900s, it was fucking Japan, right? In the 1910s, well, Japan was a friend again because they were allies, right? So it became China, kind of, because they started the 1919. They started the May 4th movement. So now we got to be concerned about China. 1920s, they passed the Immigration Act of 1924, so Asian people couldn't immigrate to America anymore. That pissed off the Japanese. That's when they were like, "Oh, we got it. We're not white, actually." Right? They actually passed it because of China, because there was a communist fucking growing movement in China, and they don't want any of those Asians coming here, right? But obviously in the 1930s, it flipped back to Japan again. It's like, wait a second, they're getting a little frisky. They're trying to encroach on our China territory. They're like, no, we China's kind of our shit. What are you guys doing? You're taking a bigger slice than you were supposed to take, right? And of course, in the 1940s, it flips to China again, right? It just flips to China after the war is over and the fucking Civil War happens. Now it's like, fuck China. Then Korean War happens. Now it's fuck Korea. In the 1960s, it was fuck Vietnam. Vietnamese people. Fuck those gooks, right? In the 1970s, it was fuck those Cambodian crazy people, the Pol Pot, whatever. Pol Pot was fucking scum. But fuck the Cambodians, right? Fuck these crazy communists in Cambodia, right? In the 1980s, it was back to fuck Japan again because they're destroying our fucking industry and they're too rich. They're too big for their britches, right? In the 1990s, it was fuck Koreans, right? Because they're fucking anti-black or whatever the fuck, right? In the 2000s, we get a short break, right? Because now it's like fuck Muslims. But in 2010s, with Obama's pivot back to Asia, it's fuck China again, right? It's fuck China, it's fuck Japan, fuck China, fuck Japan, fuck China, fuck Korea, fuck Vietnam, fuck Cambodia, fuck Japan, fuck China, fuck Arabs, fuck China, and now more fuck China, right? It's just fuck, 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 fuck. They don't even know what Asian to fuck anymore. It's just like, fuck all of them. And throughout all this, you know what I'm most pissed off about? I'm pissed off about fucking Seajeets. I'm pissed off about Japanese people. I'm pissed off about fucking Taiwanese, Hong Kong motherfuckers. You know? All these people who don't see what's fucking going on. That the whiteoid is just fucking... It's just Russian roulette of like, who's the next Asian we gotta fuck over? It's like, maybe if you fucking thought about it for 5 seconds, you'd be like, hey, wait a second. Maybe if we team the fuck up, if China, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and North Korea, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, if they all teamed up, it would be fucking the war would be over tomorrow. Like, Asia would save humanity. We would fucking be the benevolent dictators of the world. Like, we tried 500 years of whiteoid nonsense. Let's try some Asian shit. Right? In 90s, the black people rioted, destroyed the Jews' own people stores. Brooklyn. Oh, I didn't know that. Common denominator, Malcolm X thought. It all comes back to the inside traders. They're doing a protest for that boy who got shot and killed. What the fuck? Glad Knicks are in the fight. I'm just over it, man. I'm just fucking over it. Oh, and these fucking, like, liberal fucking Asians trying to, like, grift off this Rick Chow case for brownie points. They're fucking scum. They deserve to get... Those are the people that deserve to get hate crimed, actually. Fucking traitors. Fucking dumbass pieces of shit. Because, you know why? Because ultimately they, too, are grifting for the white liberal. Everything that happens in these race fucking debates or whatever, all of that racial strife benefits the white liberal. And the white liberal pays them to keep doing it. Yeah, those people are the actual gusanos. Because they have subscribed to imperialism, which is what the white liberal controls. I did not see them doing a post about it, but I don't want to pull it up. I'm just too over everything. What's a vaccine bastard? Anyhow, I guess it's 2 hours. Unless anyone wants to talk about anything else, I'm kind of worn out from my fucking tirade. But what do you? Is there any other questions or whatever, or things that you want me to comment on during this past week? Oh, Doug, I need your honest opinion. Am I racist if I think anti-Asian Asians are subhuman? No, you are not racist. If you think that, you're just being a dialectical materialist. Where's Yosep? We need the KTSC update. Is it still not going? Is KTSC done? What was the last? What? Oh man, when was the last one again? Nine months ago. Remember, the second to last one was Taiwanese Trotsky. Best roast chicken in Taiwan. This guy thought fucking doing a mukbang with Taiwanese Trotsky was gonna get views. This is how out of touch with media this motherfucker is. This guy thought doing best roast chicken in Taiwan was gonna fucking do numbers. It did not do numbers. It got like less than just south of 1,000 views. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? What do fucking I know, right? Oh, wait, the full account will be released soon. Oh, interesting. Should I comment on this right now? Should I be like, hey, where's the story on this? I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for this for the longest time. Where's the story? Oh man, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you. I'll show you. Remember this, guys? Hey, so it's been 6 months now. I don't know. I smoking too much weed to fucking function, I guess. Apparently, stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm staying tuned. I'm tuned up. I'm already tuned. I'm like, with my tuning fork, with my 440A, 440 A D G. Sorry, I'm being a retarded violinist right now. But yeah. Ed is a boba libtard. It should be, yeah. Yeah, I mean, part of it is just like, I guess he's got to make money. That's how he makes money. Whatever. Who are you voting for, Pratt or Karen Bass? Well, I threw my ballot in the garbage, so I guess neither. I don't really fucking care because I'm leaving LA in a few months. So I'm like, you know what? Handle your shit, LA. I don't care. Fuck spell check. Is Kanye a Zionist now? Even though he called him out. I think Kanye is just kind of like, I definitely don't think he's a Zionist. I think he's just whatever he says is not the truth, And I'm not saying that he's lying per se, but he's like, whatever he says is for a specific purpose to control the narrative in the way that he wants. He has been doing this for too long. He knows what he's doing. Especially after the Taylor Swift incident in 2009, which was a very negative thing for him. From that experience, I think he learned how to disseminate messages in a way that that he wants to. So whatever he's doing outwardly, I would never take at face value. Never take anything Kanye does at face value. Anyhow, I will probably make my Kanye. I'm probably gonna make my Kanye video this year, but shit, I gotta fucking make this WMIF thing. I'm almost at like 9,000 words, 8,500 words, 8,000 words. It's been going pretty well. I just stopped smoking the ganja again. So hopefully, I'm gonna probably try to stop, or at least until I finish this fucking WMA video. I'm gonna make that kind of like a reward for finishing, I guess. But yeah. Mukbang bailout checks are not clearing. Exactly. Yosef was a spy. He disappeared after KTSC died. Wait. But, oh, that's an interesting theory. Though, I don't think somebody was that. I don't know. Maybe he's just like bored. Now that there was no more drama. He said, "Stay tuned." He has Pepper on Edge. People on Edge. Going to be bigger than GTA 6. Yeah, it's GTA 6. Like, I don't even fucking understand. I never got into GTA, so I guess I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not gonna comment on that. Kanye gotta eat. WMF video is gonna be epic. Video is definitely gonna be epic. I think. It'll definitely be something that a lot of people will watch. Although my Breaking Bad video only still has 1,700 views, I'm a little sad about that. It's interesting because like a clip I released did recently, kind of like last month, it kind of like went semi-viral. Got like 2,000 likes, like 40K views or whatever. It's funny. Some people in the comments like, bro, dropped a fun fact. Other people was like, there's no correlation. This is crazy. You might be right, but I think it was funny. How are you, Weed? What do you mean, Abe the dog? What do you mean? How am I? Abe the dog is this Twitch commenter. Hi, how are you, Weed? Thank you. All right, that is it for me then. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care now. Bye then.